Episode 32, we've got Steve Simpson, and this has been 6 months in the making because it's been 6 months since we had Matty and Phil in. How you doing, pal?
Yeah, really well. Thank you for having me.
No worries at all. We've, I think I spoke to Phil and Matty, and I says that I was actually excited to get one with you yourself because you're a Celtic fan, and I can chat for days about that. It's
absolutely.
Easy. It's easy. Especially just now, it's easy.
Oh, I know.
Mechanics, FC Thistle, Moray Mental Health Football Club. Are there any other clubs you've played for?
No, that's the three main ones.
Yeah.
I think I had a spell at Forest Thistle on loan when I was at Mechanics, but that's about it.
Yeah. Kind of your younger days. And
Yeah.
Aye. Okay. You might have seen the podcast before, Steve. I always start the same. How good a football player as a kid, and what age did you realise you had a bit of potential? Still realising?
Yeah, still thinking that one. Probably. Well, to be honest, I was quite a late comer to football. It wasn't until I was about maybe 8 or 9 when I started playing with my pals, and like, oh, you should come into the kind of Kinloss Primary School football team. So I kind of had trials there, and they were like, yeah, we need a keeper anyway. So I was, that's easy. So I was in, and then, but the coach at the time, Nancy, he was brilliant. Still rate him as a coach, to be honest. Like, I think he did me wonders when I was kind of just getting to terms of goalkeeping and that. But yeah, he kind of said, that's when he kind of said, you've got something you could really, really go for if you keep at it. So I kind of took that, quit swimming, and then went down the route of football. Maybe regretting the swimming choice now because I was quite good at the swimming as well. But
you always been kind of sporty and things like that.
Yeah, I love sport. Anything on the telly I'll watch. Tennis, football, darts.
Yeah.
The Olympics especially.
Do you find yourself also like, it's weird, I think we've spoke about it in the last couple of episodes about people are just naturally kind of gifted at things, you pick up things quite easily.
Yeah, I think I was, especially in school, and I was always the kid that kind of got picked first for so basketball or badminton or football. I just loved sports. I was kind of just natural. That was the only thing I was probably good at school was sport.
Mad. So, I'm going to jump ahead a question, but have you always been a goalie?
Yeah.
You never played outfield as a kid or anything like that?
I wouldn't say I really had the choice because I grew up with 2 older brothers, so they kind of just stuck me in goals and pelted balls at me, and
that's the best way to learn, mate.
Yeah, so I maybe got them to thank for it now, but yeah, back then didn't really get a choice to play outfield or that. It was just, right, you're in goals, you're the youngest.
Yep. And where did it kind of progress? Did it progress from school football into getting? Yeah,
so I was just it was just school football to begin with, and then mates again were just like, oh, you should try out soccer sevens, do soccer sevens. I was like, I don't know. And then I was late again signing up. Finally got into a team, but we were getting the team I signed up for, Beaver Travel at the time, they were getting beat 11-0, 12-0 at the time. I thought, what have I done here? And then actually when I had my first game, that was the first game they won, and we actually started climbing the league when I started playing for them. So I kind of thought, maybe I'm making a difference. Maybe I'm not too bad in soccer sevens goals. Aye. So when I went to 11 side, I thought, I'm shite now.
It's a big jump up, isn't it?
Oh, massive.
It's huge. So kind of mentioned at the start, I'm wearing a Celtic top tonight because I know you're a Celtic fan. Green lights behind us.
Yeah.
You get any football idols when you were growing up?
Definitely Hendrik Larsson, said earlier.
Yeah, all day, mate.
Yeah, loved him. Just watching him with the ball at feet, things he could do. And he signed for Barcelona, so that kind of says it all. But from a personal point of view, probably my idol would have been Buffon growing up.
Yeah.
Just top class keeper. So calm, collective. Just
he aged like a fine wine.
Oh,
as well,
he did.
Didn't he?
Well, and he still played at the top level at the age of 42. You know what I mean? That's incredible for a keeper. And it's he's won the World Cup, the Euros. I mean, top keeper.
I think the biggest travesty in football is that he never won a Champions League.
Yeah, I mean, I was gutted for him when he signed for Juventus. I really thought, this could be his chance now, but no, he just missed it. Even PSG, didn't he?
He signed for PSG, and I thought that could be maybe his last stint at a Champions League. And I think he was possibly 41, 42 at the time as well.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It was maybe it was more a thing back in the 80s and 90s that goalies would play onto their 40s and 50s. But You don't see that now. Like,
No, I think, when you get to 40 now, I'm imagining it's quite hard on the body.
I'd say so. Especially like your goalkeeper is your fifth centre, your third centre back. So your fifth defender most weeks.
Especially now, you got to be good at the ball, but you got to be good with your feet with the ball as well. So I mean, if you're 40, I'd imagine your legs are kind of going as well.
I'd say so. Yeah, mine are 33 and they're gone. I'm just trying to think. So Celtic goalies grown up, you'd have had maybe Arthur Boric.
Yeah, holy goalie.
Mine was Rab Douglas.
Big Rab, loved him as well.
Who else did we have? We had Fraser Forster.
The
Great Wall.
Yeah.
Unbelievable player.
Craig Gordon.
Very good, very underrated goalie at Celtic.
I think the season he came in for us, like that was a big season.
Yeah.
And he was just, he's even now still performing for Scotland, and it's...
When he broke his leg as well, I thought that's his career over.
I generally thought that was him
bounced
done.
back like it was nothing.
Yeah, he's just a top keeper as well.
I think a lot of people forget with Gordon as well that he didn't do his reputation any favours. He signed for Sunderland for £9 million, and he was the highest it was the most expensive British goalie of all time.
At the time, yeah.
And he went into a Sunderland team that were really struggling, that had Dwight York up front, you know, things like that, under Roy Keane, playing 4-4-2. And
it's just not.
You know, and it done his reputation a bit of harm. And I think also not playing in very good Scotland teams, but he's always been a good goalie. There's no doubt about that. He kept David Marshall out of the team, and I argue David Marshall for a time was a far better goalie.
Well, I think, when I was just about to say, I just remember David Marshall as well, when them two were kind of competing for Scotland #1, and I thought, David Marshall just edged it. But then he went and signed for Hibs, and we're just talking about like legs had gone then, and I think David Marshall's leg, like that was time for him to maybe just retire, because
I think so.
He was making mistakes quite a bit for Hibs.
I remember his debut for Celtic. He saved a penalty from Ronaldinho.
Aye,
it's on his debut. I think he was about 18, 19 at the time, and
mad.
Big pressure. But Celtic have also had some absolute howlers of goalies over the years. You know, one we were speaking about not that recently. Had Barry Wilson on, and he actually had him in his 11 as his best goalie. But it was there was a guy called Javier Sanchez Broto that played for Celtic. He wasn't great at Celtic. He just not Celtic level, but he's the best goalie Barry had ever played with. So it just shows, like, you know, the levels.
Still a good level.
Absolutely. Alan Main we've had on, brilliant goalie back in the day.
He actually coached me at
Is that
Mechanics
right?
for a couple of months with Stuart Knight. Yeah.
How was that like?
Oh, yeah, just like top guy.
Yeah.
And just him having all that experience when he was at like St Johnstone, you know, and he
Dundee
just
United and things,
just, you know, him positioning, telling you where to stand, what to do, like just having that little extra advice, like
little nuggets, isn't it?
Yeah. And like it just really brought on my game, I think, just having him for that.
I feel that as well. I've starting to work with I work with Mo Morrison with Elgin's women's team, and like most coaching isn't any different to coaching I've seen before or things, but sometimes because he's had that experience in the game, he'll just give little nuggets, and I'm like, that's golden, mate. That is absolute gold, and I'll you know, it sticks with you, and it sticks with you. It's amazing. So, what age kind of are you first getting looked at by kind of like Highland League teams? You ever any interest from anyone from like Cali, Elgin, anything like that?
Elgin and this is when I was maybe just getting into the youth at Mechanics. Elgin were kind of speaking about it, and then Aberdeen as well. But I just stuck with my Mechanics youth, and then just went all the way through the youth. And then I think I was about 13 or 14. And then the manager at the time, he just said, "Do you want to go up to the first team and do a bit of just training with the Stuart Knight at the time? Just do a bit of training with him." Me and another guy called Craig Young. He was the other keeper through the youth with me. So I've been we've been kind of competing for #1 for quite some time. Then he finally fucked off to uni. So I kind of got, so they had no choice but to get me.
I love it.
But nah, Craig Young, he's a top keeper as well at the time. But
got to take the small victories.
Oh,
mate.
absolutely, got it. So so I must have been about 13, 14, and then first team we were up. I think it was like every Thursday they were training at the time.
Kind of players were in the first team round about this time? Steve, can you remember anyone?
So it was the same when I signed for them, basically. So it was Stuart Knight, Scotty Moore, Simon Allen, Ross McPherson, Kyle Scott, the two twins, Lee and Graham Fraser.
Yep.
Whitey, top guy. Grapesy, Graham Grant.
Yep.
Yeah, he was a proper captain. Just took you under the. He took the young under his wing. You know,
his sister's just taken the job at Elgin.
Nikki Grant. And we're hoping with our Moray Mental Health, she's going to maybe come and help us do a little bit of just stuff with her as well. So yeah, we've kind of building a relationship as well.
Awesome. Daunting coming into training for the first time and first couple of times.
I couldn't catch a thing. Still can't, but it was really nerve wracking. Like especially with like Stuart Knight, like top keeper, best in the league. Still is. Best in the league at that time for sure. And you know, like it's just full grown adults at that point, and we were just a bunch of we were only like 13, 14 at the time, and it was proper shots. You know what I mean? It wasn't like just little volleys for warming up, and that was proper like full pelt volleys down your throat trying to catch. And you're like,
Makes sure, breaks you. You know.
Yeah, definitely brought us more on quicker for the youth. You know.
Yeah, there's a young lad. I'll give him another shout out. He'll love this. Harry Watson. I've given him a shout out before in here. Plays for Elgin City's under 15s, under 16s. I think is under 16s. He's now starting to get training sessions with the first team and things like that. And he's definitely of the level. He's definitely going to be a football player. There's no doubt about that. But it's just like as you're mentioning, but he's a kind of character. That'll not faze him. He's a big confident lad, and he loves it. And
some need an arm around him, and then others just need that kind of telling off kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's finding that balance between different players.
I can guarantee he'll be the loudest one at that training session. Yeah,
that's class.
Yeah, it's keepers are a bit different. You'll know yourself, mate. They're a wee bit.
They're mad, aren't they? So.
It's characters. What would you say is your first taste of Highland League football?
Probably wasn't the first taste, but I mind warming up Stuart Knight when Rangers were in town, and you know Stuart Knight was just spewing next to his goalpost because of the nerves, and we were just me and Jens, I think Craig were warming him up in that, and it was just obviously at the time I was only like 14 or 15, I think, just before I signed for them. So at that time it was that was my first real kind of proper taste of an actual
big crowd as well.
Big crowd, you know, and it was quite daunting. Even though I wasn't even involved in it as such, it was just me warming up Stuart Knight. That was it.
First taste of the bench, you remember that?
Was I think it was. I can't actually remember my first bench game. It would have probably been.
Would you have been kind of on the bench for a while before you got your first game, Steve? Or
I was mainly bench warmer. Like Stuart Knight was hardly ever injured, never sent off. Well, was sent off, but not when I signed. He kind of mellowed out when he had kids and that, I think, is what he's told us. So so I was like, oh, well.
Can you remember your first game?
I think it was got subbed on about 10 minutes to go against Fort William, and we were about 8-9-0 up, and it was fucking Baltic, and it was a Wednesday night. But I'll take it.
Absolutely. And kind of going back to that, can you remember your first start?
No, can't actually. No.
One of the things that Slinger asked me to ask you about was an away trip to Wick.
Away trip to Wick.
He says, ask him about the away trip to Wick. Yeah, maybe have to get back to me on that once you think about it.
Yeah, I can't think of that one.
He also asked me when can he cut his grass for some reason.
I don't do grass cutting now, it's all landscaping.
Okay, so here's going to be an interesting one, because I know the calibre of player you've played with. Had some of the guys on here. Who's the best player you've played with in the Highland League? I want two answers. I know this answer for the second one, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Who's the best player you've played with within the Highland League setting?
Probably, Kyle Scott. Definitely. Just could play him centre back, up top, midfield, any position. He was just he wouldn't, just so good. Wouldn't miss a beat.
Brilliant. And that's, I think, Whitey says like hands down one of the best players he's ever played with.
Just even like in training, that like the way he put himself about, and just watching him in like, I mean, we'd always want him on your team in the training games, but even like against you, he would just be so just
powerful.
And he was a captain as well. You know, he could be. There's quite a few captains, well, potential captains at that time, but he just, and he took the young ones under him as well. You know, he made you feel welcome, and you know, he looked out for you at the time.
Aye, absolutely. How did you get on with Ross McPherson as a captain? Because he was captain as well as big figure as well.
Yeah. Well, he plays for Thistle as well, FC Thistle with us. He only played like I think 2 games, then he did his ankle in, and then that was him. But he again. I mean, he's up there with like one of the best players I've played with, because he is just a proper, like almost like a Xavi Alonso broke up play.
Yep.
You know, he was just a really good player.
Obviously, maybe in the right place at the right time as well.
Well, yeah, and he just read the game so well. And I think later on in his career, he kind of went. He did a few shifts at centre back as well. You know,
wouldn't have looked out of place.
Nah,
not at all. Not at all.
Just really good.
Flip side of the question: who's the best? My second part of the first one is in welfare or Moray Mental Health. Who's the best player you played with?
I was thinking about that today, and it's a tough one, but it'd probably be, I don't know their names, but it was probably Ireland, because they had 5 ex-pro players.
Okay.
And one of them was actually going to sign, well, from what we heard, he was going to go and sign on for Reading.
Wow.
At the time that we were playing them. So, I mean, and he was really, like, he was just balling it. He was a winger, and he was just, So I would say, he was probably the best I've played against. Like, he was just causing mayhem.
Yeah.
And I think the fact they had 5 ex-pros at the time, and they were I think they took the gas off for us.
What about kind of teammates and things at Mental Health? DD,
definitely. Adam Grizzle.
Yeah.
Grizzle. Jamie Alexander at the back. He's a really good centre back.
Okay.
He's played a few good games for us at the back.
Brilliant.
Talks. He's a leader. Kind of what you want.
Absolutely.
But yeah, there's a few good quality guys coming through now from Moray Mental Health.
Yeah. If they're ever wanting a game for welfare, Bishop Miller looking.
Sounds like you're starting to nick them all. We might not have a team now.
Bishop Miller always looking for players, lads. Just give me a shout. Highland League days, anyone you can remember playing against that you thought was phenomenal? Because you played in the Highland League in a good era.
Yeah. To be honest, I was so young. I just wasn't glued up to the names in the Highland League. You know, you'd hear the guys in the changing room when Rowley at the time would do the team talks. And he'd be like telling them all, look out for so and so, look out for so and so. But at that age, I don't think you really took it in. I kind of took it for granted. I think I didn't really appreciate the level, and at that time, because now you see it's not like.
It's not as good as it was.
No way.
No, it's a watered down product.
Yeah, definitely. And it's proper. It was proper. Like, it was almost like proper men playing. Whereas it's more like youth. It's going down the kind of route, which is great for roots football. But when you think of the Highland League, you do think of just like that era when it was.
You do.
Like,
my Highland League, when I think of it, is 6 days to maybe early 2010s, and then after that, it just becomes a little bit watered down. So, I'm going to pause here for a little break, because I've started doing this in little bits for the different bits for the podcast. So if you're enjoying listening to us and you want to watch us, join us on Patreon. It's £5 a month. You can get a bonus episode a month. You will get, Ryan, help me out here.
Video exclusive. Episodes come out a week early.
Episodes out a week early, sometimes a few days early, just depending on scheduling for that week.
Access to guests coming up. Your ability to ask them questions, your ability to request guests, all for £5 a month. And with asking questions, you can also submit a voice note that will play to the guest via the roadcaster. No one's took us up on that offer yet, but
I should have given Slinger a shout for that one. YouTube, Apple, Facebook, Spotify. Give us a little 5-star rating. I've got almost 200 followers and I've got 43 ratings. So just give us a wee follow, wee rating. does help. It really does help. Right, that's all I'll say about that. Let's get on to the important stuff. Moray Mental Health Football Club. We didn't really get into it, but like, tell us. We know how it started. Obviously, you came together through a tragic loss, and you kind of made this great thing out of. But I didn't get your side from when the guys were in the last time.
Yeah.
So give us your kind of entry into Moray Mental Health and things, Steve. How did you first either come up with the idea or get involved? What's your side of things?
Well, it's quite like funny because it was actually, Matty actually came up with the idea, and he came to me and I was like, I kind of sat on it for a bit because I was like, well, it was quite, because obviously it's very close to my heart, losing your best mate to mental health. So I was like, but also the fact that what Mental Mechanics had achieved in Edinburgh. So they're a mental health team, for people that don't know, and they're in Edinburgh. And they actually originally started a team because of Charlie. So like, I felt like it could be like a copyright for Mental Mechanics. So I kind of wanted to speak to the lads there first to really confirm if it was all right, because I obviously know them through Charlie and that. So, and obviously I'm pals with them at the time. I think they've kind of changed committee members and all that now.
Yeah.
It's 5 years, so they've been going for quite some time now. But so from that, when Slinger came to me at the beginning with that, I thought, yeah, I'll have a little think about it. And then I was actually going to be a silent partner kind of thing. I was just going to not be involved too much. I'll help fund. But yeah, I think it's just, obviously I'm now one of the main guys involved, and I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way, to be honest. No.
Well, my first time I came across you in person, I'd seen the Moray Mental Health posts. I followed you guys quite early on and things. I thought it was great what you were doing. Was you looking very uncomfortable speaking at Chris's book unsigning?
Oh, well, yeah, because I got thrown in the deep end. Nobody told me I was going to be speaking, and then my name got called out, and I was like, what's this? So I just have to literally like think on the spot on what to say.
Yeah, you didn't look comfortable, but so the way Slinger explained it was, he says that you do the speaking, he does the social media stuff, and Phil does the tech.
That's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, it's spot on.
Yeah. We work, like, we do get on really well, and we balance each job out. Like, if we've got tasks to do, or, you know, like trying to get funding off sponsors or whatever, like, we do just spread the workload, and we do have a great balance, and we do, if there's any problems, we do just sit down and iron them out. Yeah. You know, and we do have it. Yeah, we're fortunate that we are really good friends, and we've managed to create a club, you know, like this for other people to enjoy as well.
Absolutely. For someone who's recently created a club, it's not an easy.
No,
it's not easy, mate. It's really not easy.
The organising, you forget how much organising goes in it, especially behind the scenes, and it's, I mean, yeah, credit to you as well, because you know you need teams, you need guys like ourselves to make teams.
It's a thankless task sometimes, you know. But like I don't know. I get sometimes stressed with my players. I'm like, you guys just have to turn up and play football. You don't have to realise the work that goes in the background. But you know, if we didn't do it for the love of the game, none of us would be doing it. You know,
exactly.
And at the end of the day, it's a passion project for you. It's a passion project for me. The thing that I'm doing, and as you say, like it's for a good cause. You know, I'm a little bit the same. I wanted to bring back something into my community that's missing. We didn't have a football team in Bishopmill. It's the largest area and the largest part of Moray. Like, you know, it's not got a football team.
It's unheard of.
Like Lossey's got like 5 football teams. You know, but
just remember where you record this podcast.
Giving away our location now, Ryan. But like, your guys' kickabouts is one of the mad things I notice. Is like, you get like 60 people sometimes if the weather's good.
Yeah, if it's a summer's day, 60's been our record, and it's mad. Just overwhelming at times. I mean, to think we only started with like, I think 10 people turn up, and it was the week STV News was like, oh, we'll come and record, but can you not pick it, like, can you not wait another few weeks?
Yep.
So, but it was good because they came and did another year's recall kind of thing, and it just kind of shows how much we have grown from when they first recorded us to now. And I mean, yeah, we only got about 10 people turn up to our first kickabout ever, and that was at the Gleaner Arena.
Yeah.
And then fast forward a year, we've hit 60, and we're definitely easily hitting 30 every kickabout now.
Yeah,
steady. So it's definitely growing.
For anyone that is looking, keep an eye on their Facebook page. Does it go on anything else like Twitter?
Yeah, Twitter, Facebook. That's the main two socials. Instagram as well. But yeah, just look out for the posts. It's every 2 weeks we try to aim for the kickabout. Just now it's probably going to be like about 9, 10 a.m. on a Sunday morning at Grant Park, just because facilities just now are a nightmare to try to get a hold of. So we've been fortunate enough that Soccer Sevens give us their
that's brilliant.
Their
pitches and
things. And
no, it's as I say, they're always very popular, and it's such a broad range of ages, sizes, abilities. You know, it's like, and there's nobody. I know it's a mental health thing, and it's maybe a stereotype to say this, but there's like nobody out of place. You know, like everyone kind of just fits in.
It's literally just turn up, play football, and it's all different abilities. Like you said, like nobody's judging anyone.
No,
you know. I refuse to play in goals in them. I just play outfield. I play in goals all the time. I want to play outfield and score some goals. And the boys, like some of the lads there, like they just rip into me because the amount of chances I miss. But I love it. You know, but that's what it's about. Like nobody's judging. It's just
absolutely
pitch up and play.
It's brilliant because he's also like on the back of that. It's mad because I try to do it for the podcast, try to do it Bishop Mill. It gives you a good social media presence all the time, and everyone's smiling in their photos. It could be pissing a rain, you know, it could be absolutely shit, but everyone's smiling. That looks like they've had a good time, you know, and that's from reading from the post, and that's the main point you're trying to get across. You know,
well, it's just getting guys out there on a day they've maybe had a tough week, you know, and they can just let off some steam, and like you say, like every photo, they've all got a smile on at the end of the session. So it's just to get guys, and not even just guys, we are hoping some more females come along as well, just to help encourage more females, because it is just for everyone involved. So it'd be great to get more females rather than guys, to be honest.
I've just got involved with women's football myself, and some ballers out there, mate. I'm telling you, there's some absolute ballers out there.
Well, we had Nikki Grant come last week to our kickabout, and she I think she pulled her calf, but I think she showed some of the guys up for when she did have that half an hour in or whatever it was.
Okay, I'll have to give more a shout. So when Matty and Phil were in, they actually broke on the podcast that you guys were going to Ireland.
Yeah.
You can speak about how Ireland was. So, obviously, you went over, you played...
Felican Fathers.
Felican,
I struggled. Yeah, Felican.
Felican.
Yeah.
Did you go in with a different pronunciation? Because I'm pretty sure Slinger said Fella Shane, I think he said.
I just avoided the conversation.
There you go.
I just avoided the name. I was that was my my angle. Just
Fathers.
Literally, I was just like, But no, to be honest, what they've set up is just hands down the best charity. Like bereaved dads, some of the stories they were telling us, it's really touching. And you know, I just became a dad at that point myself, so like to go over there and then play bereaved dads, you know, it was quite touching, and amazing what they've done and what they've achieved. And I mean, they beat us 5-3, but I think that reflects on what they've done, to be honest.
How was it like I've been away days and things like that. That's a proper away day. That's like a European trip. So how was that? Like one of the things I absolutely love when I've seen the photos when you first arrived, you all had tinnies in your hands, you know, and you're like, okay, you're in Ireland. That's what you do when you're over there.
Well, Didi was actually the bad influence. He was like, oh, let's just go out on the Friday. So like we ended up, me and him and a few others, like some of them were like nervous, so they all kind of got a good early sleep, but me and Didi and a few others kind of ended up going out on the pish on the Friday. Right. And I think we kind of showed for it the next day. But no, it was great just taking a team over there, you know, and guys that have not even ever played like 11-a-side football to then play on an actual what was the stadium called? I can't even remember now. But yeah, we played in like a proper. It was almost like a decent League One team.
Yeah, it's mad.
So it was like, yeah, it was a decent setup, and even for like me and that has played in quite a lot of
grounds
and that, it was quite overwhelming and just amazing to actually take it in and appreciate it.
I think Matt had said to me as well, some guys had never been on a plane in their life.
Yeah, well, and I mean that just shows what we've done. We've managed to get guys on the plane. They've never been out of the UK. It's amazing, and we've one guy didn't even have a passport. And the club managed to sort that out for him, and
that's brilliant.
And he came on leaps and bounds from it. And that was I think that was out of it all, to see him come through it made it worth it all.
That's amazing, mate. And then my second part of this is playing with Colin Hendry.
Yeah.
How was that as a Celtic fan?
Oh, yeah.
I think just right, come in for a 50-50, Colin, and I'll go in for it as well.
Well, he was on my team as well, so I was
mad.
just like, oh. But nah, it was great just to even have an ex-pro in the changing room, and you can tell he's played at a top level. He is a good player. And
did he give you a little bit of a speech before you went out? Or
yeah,
he
just kind of said it's it was funny because like no matter what we win, so like even if it was a charity match, he still has that winning mentality in him. But no, he gave us a little speech and just like told us about how life has battles and you just have to keep getting through them, and he's had his own battles, and it was just great to have him in the changing room, especially for some
play as well.
Oh yeah, he was still quite a good baller. Like kept a clean sheet as well.
Kind of imagine, what was he? He's late 50s or early 60s, Colin?
Yeah, I think he'd be, what is he, maybe like 58?
Yeah, late 50.
58.
Still able to spray a ball about and things like that. Yeah.
Well, he was saying was it 2 charity matches a week he plays?
I can't.
And he plays 90 minutes.
Yeah. Oh no.
So he is a fit lad. Like he's definitely keeping his fitness up.
Was there a wee bit of a surrealism when you're kind of getting ready, and that's the guy that led Scotland out at the World Cup?
Yeah, it was quite. It's like there's Braveheart,
yeah.
kind of thing. It's like it was just because he was already in the changing room and I came in and then he was just standing there. He was like 6'2" or whatever he is, like just a giant.
Yeah,
he's like, fucking, that's Colin Hendry. Like it's quite It's like he's literally right there. Like
it's mad.
It's like, how have we managed to set this? Like what? Who's paying him to come here? You know what I mean?
I love it. So kind of with Moray Mental Health, any kind of future plans going forward? Anything you can reveal?
God. I think the guys are gonna, you know what, I'm just gonna do it because I can. We're in kind of talks, and we are hoping to become the national mental health team for Scotland.
Fuck, that's amazing.
So yeah, we're teaming up with other national teams, so like England, Wales, Ireland. So there's going to be a group of us, and then we're hoping to have like a tournament once a year, and it'll be like a World Cup kind of tournament.
Wow! And
we'll be playing, and it's not just like for Moray Mental Health; it'll be for all mental health teams in Scotland.
Yeah,
we can like rope in guys and play in like retro Scotland kit.
Phenomenal.
So yeah, that's all they're getting. That's all. That's one of the future ones, and then we've obviously got games lined up, but I don't want to speak too much about that.
No, that's fine. That's I think that's amazing. I think that's absolutely amazing. You've got to grab that armband, by the way. Yeah. You've got to get that armband because leading your own country out.
Oh, I know. It's just happened in the last couple of weeks, to be honest. And yeah, we're definitely going to just jump at it because it's just something that's, to be a national mental health team for football, that's just, that would just be amazing.
Top class, mate. Right. I can start to like this question a lot. You're about ages with me, Steve. How old are you? If you don't mind me asking.
29.
29. So you're
I've probably aged about 5 now. 5 years since I'm a kid in 6 months.
I know, I feel you, mate. I've got 2. Yeah, I feel you. So 4 years younger than me. So I think I know where this might land. It's a good one as well. First World Cup memories.
Yeah. probably there's two that come to mind, but I'd say probably the 2006 Germany.
Yeah, great
one.
World Cup.
Italy, France.
Yeah.
Zidane headbutt. Like,
Bang.
how can you forget that? Plus Buffon, I was just rooting for him to win the World Cup, and he did. So, that's the one that springs to mind first. But for me as a kid, and the best one, I still think is the best one, is probably the South Africa one. Shabalala, when he scored that first goal to start the World Cup, and then the Jubilani ball or whatever, causing mayhem. Like, it was just, there was so much to talk about.
Yeah,
because of the ball, just because of the ball.
The World Cup, that was a birth of so many players as well. Mesut Ozil, Angel Di Maria, Thomas Müller. Nobody had heard of these players before.
Diego Forlan, he was kind of one coming up.
Golden boot as well, didn't he?
Mastered how to actually kick the Jubilani into the back of the net.
There's 2 or 3 free kicks in that one as well. My lasting memory of that World Cup is
Rodriguez as well.
Rodriguez 2014 in Brazil.
Is that the one I'm thinking? When he chested it and then volleyed it? Yeah, that was some goal.
Unbelievable. But it was Suarez with the handball on the line, and then
that was against Ghana, wasn't it?
Guyan missed the penalty.
Yeah. And then he celebrated.
Yeah, that's my lasting memory of that. I think England get put out 4-1 by Germany. It was a goal. It was over the line by Lampard.
Yeah.
This is kind of off. That was my first World Cup in the pub. So, a young man, you know yourself, celebrate things a bit differently in the pub. But going back to the 2006 World Cup, I've noticed you've got Zidane in your lineup. Zidane, Larson aside, is who I consider the greatest player of all time, because I don't think he ever had a weakness in his game. Like Messi, you couldn't put Messi at centre back.
No.
You could put Zidane at centre back.
Yeah.
You could probably put him in goals and he would do a half decent job. But to this day, I don't think I've ever seen somebody have a better first touch of a football.
Oh, it's just but his first touch takes him away from trouble
every single time.
Every time, and that's you can take a touch, but you've not beat the guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's still in front of you, but with him, he just took a touch and he's left him. And it's just
sometimes 2 or 3 guys he's left with one touch.
It's just.
Ryan, you're away to get a little card on Football Journal's bingo here, but there's a documentary on YouTube. Give it a watch. 35 minutes long, I think it is. Zidane, and there's 30 different cameras on him in one Real Madrid game, and it just watches him the whole game.
Really?
And it's done to classical music, and I watch this about once a month, mate.
Really?
Honestly, half them views are me, absolute class. I don't think he ruined his career personally with that head, but even if he did, he then went and won Champions Leagues with Real Madrid as a manager. So exactly,
it's kind of sweetened the blow if it had.
It does. Just fantastic player, brilliant. Okay, this is my interesting one, because I've obviously just started my own welfare team.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be entering the same league as you guys next season. You're probably going to absolutely pump us every game, but that's what happens when you play FC Thistle. So how did you first become involved with the welfare and FC Thistle?
To be honest, I gave up football, maybe 5-6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
When I left mechanics, I kind of just, it was a commitment with mechanics. And I was never really going to get a game against Stuart Knight, so I thought, I'd just give it up, go and watch football, and that was it. And then I think 2 or 3 years after that, I would get into teams. I'd play for the Carlton at the time, or the Carlsbrook, and I'd play 2 or 3 games, and they were favourites to win the league that year.
Yeah.
But then I would just be like, nah, just
not for you,
not for me. I think it was hard from going from such a high level to such a low level. Yeah. I didn't do the jump from high to middle to then low. Yeah. I just did it from high to low. And
do you regret missing that junior stage?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly, yeah, maybe. But I don't. To be honest, I'm glad though I did take that 2 or 3 years out, because when you're a keeper, you don't really mature in games until you get older.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really picture the game as well as you should probably when you're younger.
Yeah.
Because a keeper is a total different angle of a game that
Yes.
you're seeing, and you've got everything to think about, positioning, where's the runners, where's the ball going to go? It's a lot to take in, but when you're younger, it's harder to maybe focus. Whereas maybe taking that a few years out and then going back to it, it kind of did maybe mature me a bit more.
Yeah.
In the side of football side of things. But so yeah, and then fast forward this season, I think it was Shorty that dropped me the message, and he was like, "Oh, we're struggling for a keeper, mate. Do you fancy just helping us out and see how you get on? And if you do enjoy it, you can kind of sign kind of thing." So I thought, I don't really want to leave them short. Plus, it was my ex-teammates, so I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll just one game." And it was against the RAF Lossie, I think it was. We played in a friendly, and I think we beat them 4-0 or whatever it was. But I actually had a good game, and I thought, not bad for my first game in 3-4 years. So then they just said, but like nobody had actually said that's you signed. They were just like, right, that's you. Like literally, right, this is the fixtures. This is when we're playing. I was like, well, nobody's actually said you're definitely signing. Yeah. And then that was it. Like that was me just signed for them.
I've got to go in with that strategy. I've just got to be like, do you want to play a game? There's the fixtures, mate. On you go.
Like that. Like literally, it was just like, I was, I'm assuming I've just signed them. Like that's like nobody's actually like came to me and asked. They've just said that's the fixtures and here's the games and we're playing next Tuesday. And we're like, all right, okay.
I didn't write down your goal difference last season, but I think he's only won every game and drew one.
Yeah, against Elgin Thistle, we drew the last game. That was 3-3, was it? Second last game, was it? 3-3, I think it was, yeah.
There would have been another one that would have been right up for that game against you.
Yeah, and I think what made it quite... They finished second then, didn't they?
Finished second.
Yeah, because I think Aldern thought it was just going to be a 2-horse race, but they ended up going third.
Elgin Thistle are a good team.
Yeah. They had one baller in the middle. He was a real good guy. And they've got Simon up top. He comes to our kickabout's as well, and he's a good finisher. Like,
aye, absolutely.
Yeah, they've got a fair few good boys.
Yeah. So kind of, is that just the plan next couple of seasons, or you said you weren't thinking about this season?
I better watch what I say, because I'm no doubt my partner will be hearing this back. Because I said I'll just do one season.
Yeah,
I want to win the Welfare League, and that was it. That was my goal. Just I'll win the Welfare League, and I'll be happy with that. Because I've never won that, and I thought, this is probably the best time to do it with my ex-teammates. So we did that. We then won obviously 4 more cups on the way, and obviously the buzz then was really it did get the buzz back, and then obviously the league's finished, and I've kind of said to Becky, she's like, so that's it now, and I'm like, I don't know, I'll think about it. But no, she was brilliant because we just had a newborn, and it was right smack bang in the middle of the welfare season, and she didn't moan, she just let me do my football. She knows what it means to me, and and that was my kind of just letting off some steam, if it's been a hard week at work or whatever. So
it helps. It really does help with football.
But I didn't sign up for 3 games a week. Like that's more than bloody when I was at mechanics. That was more than training and playing,
Right. So the big question in the Welfare League, and you probably not hear it because you play for one of the teams, is Bucky Rovers versus FC Thistle. What happens?
Probably FC Thistle 3-0.
Think so?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think that's the game that needs to happen. It's like both winning the league, both smashing leagues.
Yeah.
I think the Moray should play Forest and Nairn in some sort of
just like a like a World Cup for
a little bit
like a club thing. Yeah. Club World Cup is it? That's what they call it.
Okay, right. I'm gonna have to get a Bucky Rovers guy on now to see what he says.
But no, yeah. The one we want is the Scottish Cup now, because we got beat 2-1, I think it was, against Aldern. Yeah. We just didn't turn up that day. But, they'll hold that against us every game. We've beat you, the last... How many games? You beat us once. Come on. You didn't even win the cup, so it doesn't count. But, yeah, no, I think that's the one we want to win now, because we won the... What was it? The one where it's the Fraserburgh... it was the Fraserburgh teams and all that were in it.
Yeah, it's...
so that's the one that they wanted to win as well, and we won that.
Doddle McNair.
That's the one. Yeah. So we won that. So that was a big one as well for us to win that, and we did. So we're quite... But that took us quite... It was quite a journey to get there, because we were... What was it? Down to... Again, we only turned up with 12 guys to Fraserburgh, and we were down to I think 10 guys I think was it Didi or someone pulled his hammy, and then they equalised 1-1, and we only had 10 guys, and we scored from a free kick in the last minute to make it 2-1 to get us through to the. I think that was actually to get to the final.
Yeah,
and that was just some like
madness.
The buzz for that, like considering we do beat teams like 10-0 or whatever, but then to go and play teams that it was evenly matched and it was like scrappy and proper games, that's what makes it.
Guarantee you had 16 boys available for that final though.
Oh yeah, we had more of a team on our football night out on Saturday than we did the whole season.
I love it.
Put a vote up and it was like 14 straight away yeses. Put a vote up for a game and it's like struggling to get 8 straight away. It's like, what is going on, guys?
Amateur football is brilliant, isn't it?
That is well for its best, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, great, mate. Okay, my next question, interesting one for you, Steve. Proudest achievement in football?
Yeah, there's a few, but I'd say probably signing for Forest Mechanics at 16.
Love it.
When it's it's your local team, you've been brought up in Forest, you're born in Forest.
Mm-hmm.
It was that for me was a very proud moment.
Yeah, mum and dad there and things like that. Yeah,
they just
special, isn't it? It's like I speak about him all the time on here only because I want him on the podcast. But I always go back to Brian Cameron in Elgin City. He's just away to hit 500 games for Elgin. Elgin born and bred.
It's amazing.
Academy right the way through and things like that. And progressed into the bench, youth team, first team, so on and so forth.
You just can't beat it.
But being from that place, having that support, and it's just there's something different about that. You could,
and it is true. You play, you do play for the badge. Then it's in you. It's not like for if you go and then sign for another club, you just don't. You just don't play the same. I don't believe.
No. Before we get on your 111, I'm just going to get a bit of Celtic chat because
absolutely.
I can't beat you on this podcast. I don't think we get it enough considering I'm a big Celtic fan.
A lot of Rangers guys at the Moray Mental Health, which I'm a bit annoyed about.
There's a lot of Rangers guys on here.
Yeah, there is. It's going well just now.
Absolutely. Yeah. Aberdeen's just dropped 3 points there on the weekend. It was funny because every week me and my mates will put in we'll pick 2 teams and put an ACK on.
Yeah.
And there's 5 of us, and then it's like one big ACK and we'll just put it on. So it's like a £25 stake and we'll just split the wins between us. And obviously if somebody picks a dodgy team, it's like voided. And my mate Keith, he picked Aberdeen. He was Aberdeen are a banker to lose this weekend against St Mirren, and we're like, nah, that's a dodgy call. And they went and got beat 2-1, didn't they?
Aye.
It's like, should have just. He's like, I told you. So we won't live that down now. But we're just flying just now, aren't we? It's great.
The Nicholas Kuhn is one of the best players I've ever seen at Celtic.
That was the best Champions League performance for an individual against RB Leipzig that I watched. He was just untouchable that game.
He's to me, he's an old school football player. He either hits the byline and gets the ball in the box, or he cuts in and he shoots.
Yeah, that left foot peg that he scored that goal was just unreal.
You can say that's a cross, but regardless, the area he's putting that ball into, if nobody gets on that cross, it's going in.
Well, exactly. If it was a shot or a cross, he still put it. He knew what he was doing. You know what I mean? He put it in an area like you say, and he's just if somebody touches it, it's in, or if it goes all the way through, it's a nightmare for the keeper because from a keeper's point of view, like a keeper's waiting for maybe like someone to dive and header it in or whatever. And he's waiting for that deflection, but it's obviously just went all the way in anyway. So it's caught him off feet, maybe caught him flat-feeted. But
as you say, the keeper
wasn't saving it anyway.
No, he's not saving that. Like, not a chance.
It's just perfect position for the ball.
The other guy as well, I was kind of catching up with the highlights in international football last week, and he's actually starting for Belgium's Engels in the middle. I think he's phenomenal.
To sign him after losing Riley, big step up. You know, I thought he's going to struggle. I thought we were generally going to struggle once losing Riley, and then I thought signing this guy, is he actually going to be?
Nah,
didn't really know him until now, and he's really stepped it up.
The thing is, for years we've said Brendan Rodgers doesn't know what he's doing with his transfers, and he clearly does know what he's doing with his transfers. There was a little drop off when Ange left, and these kind of Japanese players weren't fitting into the Rodgers style, but now he's Hatate's a different player under Rodgers. Kyogo isn't the same player he was under Ange, but Kyogo has got a different role these days. He plays a lot deeper, and and he'll pick up these. He used to pretty much play offside under Ange,
right on the line,
right on the line, or he'd play above the line and he'd let the defenders do the moving, and he would just stay still. Very smart player, but whereas with Rodgers, he's got to do a lot more running in behind and getting little balls over the top or little through balls and things like that. But you look at Celtic, you look at the goal scoring charts. I think we've got 3 players on 4 goals. We've got 2 players on 5 goals. That team
everywhere.
Yeah,
goals are everywhere in that team, and that's what wins you leagues.
Absolutely,
it's not just a 20-goal season striker. No. Look at Spurs. They had Harry Kane, but they didn't have goals anywhere else.
Exactly.
And they've not won a title. But
no, nor's Bayern, but
but you know what I mean. So you need goals everywhere in the team, and it does make a difference. And I think if Maeda could finish, he'd be world class because he just runs for days, but his finishing just lacks.
I think the last player I've seen as quick as that at Celtic was Didier Agathe.
Oh, he's unbelievable.
2 of them, I'd like to see the 2 of them in a race in their prime because it'd be close. But Maeda, run for days, quick as anything, cannot finish worth a toffee. He's just rubbish at it.
But he just doesn't let a loose ball go.
No.
He just chases it to the
if
end.
There's a 1% chance he'll get that ball, he'll go for it.
What was it? The Old Firm when he Tavernier when he kicked in and just hit off him
and just kept going.
Just because he kept running,
Yep.
Whereas any other winger probably just gave that ball up, but he just kept running and it's forced him into a mistake anyway.
It was Celtic's second goal against Leipzig. It was Celtic's high press, I noticed. I think they had 6 players in the Leipzig box to get that second goal, and they won it from their right back losing it.
Yeah.
So it just shows the kind of intensity that they're playing with.
Yeah, and I think other nights when they went 1-0 up, we could easily lost that game. Our heads would have just other nights we could have dropped our heads, and that would have been a 2-0 or 3-0.
Yeah.
Well, a bit like Dortmund. I thought it was going to be Dortmund all over because we had that for the first 12 minutes. We were all over them. I thought if we get a goal here, we're good. And then they went and nicked one, and then for about 10 minutes after they went 1-0 up, we just we sat in, we got our shape, and then that's when we started them.
Yeah, falling apart and just...
Yeah. But we picked it up again, and then we ended up beating them. What was it, 3-1 or something?
Yeah.
4-1? Was it 3-1?
It's 3-1, yeah. Unbelievable. Celtic actually got a chance of going through in Europe this season. It's mad to think about.
Club Brugge tomorrow, is it? At home as well. So, I mean, that's...
I think the Aston Villa game is going to be an interesting one. I really do, because Aston Villa are not playing great just now. That's my 2 teams. That's my English team and my Scottish team playing each other. So it's... I'm not that I'm on the fence. I'm obviously supporting Celtic in that situation, but I think Celtic can get a result out of that. I just really do.
I think I mean, on their day, Celtic can really, bring it to any team. It's just whether they turn up on the day. But I mean, Parkhead, it's a different...
It's a fortress.
Yeah, it's a fortress in the Champions League. Like the teams we have beat over the years, like Barcelona, Man U, it is a fortress, and it is our 12th man.
Well, I was down at Parkhead in December for Celtic Rangers. No Rangers fans there.
Yeah.
There must have been maybe 20 Rangers players plus 30 Rangers staff, 61,000 Celtic people, and I'm in the Celtic end and I'm intimidated. So I'm I can't imagine what that's like, being the other end of it.
It's just, but I do feel they need to get the fans back.
That's a ridiculous rule. Absolutely ridiculous.
I mean, don't get me wrong, when we score and it's just the silence at Ibrox, it's the best. It's the best noise ever, because you do hear one or two that have managed to get in, but it is just silence. But
I hear that quite often as well.
Yeah, they do need to get the fans back, because it's ruining the old firms almost. There's just no passion there from both fans then.
Any football needs away fans. It's just
it's what makes a game.
You score, you give a little bit to them, they score, you get a bit back. It's just part of it. It's not the same. Right, 1 to 11. This is an interesting one, Steve. I'm going to read through it.
Yeah.
And then we're going to pick out some names. Buffon, right to left, we're going Philip Lahm, Sergio Ramos, Carlos Puyol, and Roberto Carlos.
I was close to going Matty Slinger there, but I backed out.
Slash Slinger. Middle three of Modric, Zidane, and De Bruyne. That would be absolutely filthy. And in the front three, I think would be even better, is Ronaldo, Rooney, Messi, right to left. I'll pick out different bits of it, but I was actually having a look at this earlier on, and I thought, see, if you've got Messi left and you've got Ronaldo right, who's the player that's going to, and it's Rooney. If you're trying to make a team out of that, who's going to bring both of them players into play and make them play with each other? It's going to be Rooney.
Yeah, I was actually close to going David Villa up top.
Brilliant player as well, yeah.
And he would again do what Rooney would do, but I think Rooney would just edge that.
He would drop in deep and allow these guys to just
free roam,
penetrate, and it would be filthy. One we've not had before though is Philip Lam.
Really?
Yeah, I've not had him. I wouldn't like to check back, but I'm pretty sure I've not had him. You didn't have him, did you, Ryan?
No, I think I went with Cafu. I went with the Brazilians.
That's right.
But to be fair, Lam's one of the greatest. He might be the greatest right back of all time. Is there not like some mad stat that he went like years without even
never been carded?
Yeah,
never been carded. Mad.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, Germany, like when they won the World Cup that year, and him playing right back was just a different level altogether. Him for the right back to just control games.
Yeah,
it's just. It's unheard of, you know what I mean?
And then he advanced. He was the first right back to go into that defensive midfield position.
Someone Pep took them.
So it's an interesting one, right? I'm a total geek because I do a lot of coaching things. I watch a lot of tactics videos, and just there's a guy I follow on YouTube who breaks down games tactically. And it sounds like the most boring thing ever, but I fucking love it. Yeah. So what he used to do was his right back and his left back. Lam was one side. I can't remember. I think it was David Alaba was the left.
Yeah.
So when they would go forward, basically the whole team would go forward, and your left back and your right back would then sit in as defensive midfielders. He basically built his whole team around how to shape around these two defensive midfielders, and it's now. You've got Alexander Arnold, you've got Joshua Kimmich, you've got all these players John Stones are now converting from defenders into defensive midfielders because it's learning how to play under Pep's system. He's a master. Like, he's not having a great run just now, but he's an absolute master at taking a player and moulding him a little bit and not making massive changes to the way he plays, but being
slight changes,
and now this guy can play a completely different position. And John Stones is probably I'm glad you said that, because I never thought he's probably the best example of it when he fitted into that little, was it 3?
He's even doing it for Rico Lewis now.
That's right, yeah.
I mean, it's just mad that he knows a player has that ability to do it, and he can get the best out of them to do it as well.
Absolutely.
It's phenomenal.
He was the first person to move Messi into the middle, just little snippets like, all right, he's going to work out a bit. And Messi went on and scored 91 goals that season, as a false 9.
It's just mad. It's just like
91.
You struggle in like Lion League to score like 9 goals, and he's doing it at the top level and he's cruising it. It's just it's mad. It's absolutely mad.
Crazy.
That was the days though where like Messi and Ronaldo would score a hat-trick each at the weekend, you know what I mean? And it was literally like they were getting 90 goals a season.
How good was La Liga for like that 5-6 seasons?
It was although Barcelona absolutely dominated El Clásicos.
Because El Clásicos would either go one way or the other. It was either
guaranteed like a red card, scrappy.
Pepe, Ramos, one of them had a red card.
I remember the Champions League semi-final. Was it Pepe stamped inverted quotes on Busquets' hand?
That's right,
but, like, nothing had actually happened. But so, and speaking of David Villa earlier, like he kind of changed David Villa's role as well, like being a central striker, and he ended up playing out in the wing, obviously, to fit that whole Messi. But he went through a few strikers, didn't he? Because he didn't fancy Eto'o, and then he signed Ibrahimovic, and that went down like a lead balloon. And then obviously David Villa came in.
And then he would kind of mess a little bit about, like he'd have Pedro out there, he'd have like Sanchez playing central, and he could just move about his front three because it was never around the player, it was always around the system, and if they could play the system, then they'd be in the team. And it was like, you go back to it, but he made average players very, very good.
Absolutely.
It's mad some of the players they let go as well. Ronaldinho, Eto'o, Yaya Toure.
Yeah,
that's big names. Like,
it's huge names. Yeah,
that's names that win you titles.
But when you talk about players like Pedro was an average player.
Yeah,
and under Pep, he was a world beater.
Yeah.
You know, in that Barcelona front three.
I think Pep just made them manage to get that space that made them then have time to actually think what they're going to do. Whereas like most teams just don't get that time. Like players just don't get that time, and then they just cross it in, or look for the next pass back or whatever. But
I love the thing he says. He was like, why make a 15-yard pass? He says it's got 3-4 chances of making a mistake. Make the 5-yard pass. And it's like, it's not personally my style of football. Like, I quite like direct 4-4-2 football. I think it's entertaining.
I think I was actually playing this with a mate the other day as well. Like, direct football, it's just gone from like the Premier League and that. Like, you thought about like your Stoke Cities, even like Everton back under David Moyes. Like, it was just like proper like battles, them games. And like a Stoke City, a 2014, whatever it was, when they were in the Premier League.
The lap throws.
Put them against like an Arteta Arsenal team today. I generally think Stoke would win.
Yeah.
They just wouldn't.
Big Ricardo Fuller up front and things like that.
And no offense, but like no disrespect to like the lower teams like Southampton, but why are they trying to play out from the back? It's going to go long anyway. Just go long. Like it's
the one. Do you know the thing that gets me about football, about playing out from the back? See, when teams are 1-0 up and it's the 93rd minute and they're trying to play it from the back, I'm like, what are you doing? Get that ball the other end of the park.
Just get it forward. Literally.
There's no reason for you to be trying. But do you not notice, compared to 10, 15 years ago, how many late goals we get in football these days?
Yeah. And
I think it's because teams don't know any other way but to play out from the back, and they're getting high pressed because teams are shitting themselves wanting a goal. And that's why we're getting so many late goals these days, because they're coming from high presses, going out for a corner, boom, goal. Going out for a throw-in, boom, goal. It's just, I'm not a fan of it.
I think like defending's like something that takes second priority now as well. Even if you look at the wing back role now, it's definitely more what was a 90s winger, if you know what I mean. Like if you look who's playing wing back, like
nobody can head a ball these days either.
Yeah,
nobody.
It's just
nobody can head a football these days. I don't get it.
It is. Yeah, it's mad how much the game has came on from like route one to literally just constantly playing out from the back. I don't even actually enjoy watching like most Premier League games now, because it's quite boring. Like just watching them try play out from the back, and it's like it's not as fast as it used to be. Even when teams did play, like you watch the way Barcelona passed, and it was fast, it was quick. Whereas now it's all just slow build up.
It is, and a lot of them go back the way instead of going forwards.
And it's like you may as well just go long.
With Barcelona, it's like ingrained in their entire system from top to bottom, that way of play, where, like you said, Southampton are buying like 15 players to then try and execute that after getting promoted. So
yeah, it's mad. Well,
I also think like there's some teams, it might just be me being a nostalgia boomer here, but like I miss like certain staple teams in that Premier League. Like Blackburn Rovers is the one that comes to my mind.
Charlton used to be a regular in there.
Portsmouth as well.
Portsmouth,
Bolton maybe as well.
Bolton,
yeah,
classic Sam Allardyce Bolton.
Even Stoke, wasn't it? What was the saying? They can't do it on a Tuesday night in Stoke or something like that. Yeah.
Well, Bolton was built on Route 1, wasn't it? They used to just hammer the ball up to Kevin Nolan. He would flick on for an Elka to score.
And then they sound Crouch as well to do it.
That's right, aye.
Crouch down to, what was his name? Jones.
Kenman Jones.
Yeah, or Peter Walters. Was it Peter Walters?
John Walters.
He was a good player. Like, he was a good player.
Another runner, just would run after anything.
Well, Bishop Mill play 4-2-4, so
4-2-4. That's quite an attacking.
Well, our first Welfare game, we got beat 5-3 against a decent Cullen team who've been playing together for quite a while. Played Bucket Rovers, obviously they're treble champions. 6-2 against them, playing 4-2-4. So, like, we're shaky in the middle a little bit. But see, going forward, I don't think teams know how to. You've got essentially 6 boys running at you instead of one spearheading it and runners in behind.
Yeah.
Of the width of the pitch, we've got runners, and we're just needing somebody in the middle to find them runners, and that's how we're scoring goals. It's
just outscore.
Yeah, but the whole concept was not a lot of teams know how these days how to defend against 2 strikers. Like they're all used to playing against 1 and playing against a 3.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, and it's
we're a 4-4-2 normally.
4-4-2.
Yeah, we just play 4-4-2 normally.
Old school works. Next one, I'll be Luka Modric. I think that's another first mention for Modric, which I'm surprised that possibly got another one.
Guy just controls games. Like you watch him for Croatia, like they've got no one really now.
No,
and he can just control the whole Croatia team. Like he can control a whole game, and it's just
so comfortable.
Fair enough, he has like at Real Madrid, he has Kroos and that as well doing it. But like when he won the Ballon d'Or. Like that year, it was well deserved, and he got them to a World Cup, Euros final, or World Cup final. Was it World Cup final?
World Cup final, and
2018 won it, and they got beat by France 4-2.
That's it.
Was it not?
That was in France, wasn't it?
Euros
Russia
semi-final.
Russia,
as well.
sorry.
Was it not a Euros semi-final or a Euros final they got to?
Well, they beat England.
They beat England in the World Cup semis.
Yeah,
semis.
England beat Denmark in the semis of the Euros, didn't they, to get to the final?
Yeah.
Who did Italy play?
Was it Portugal? No.
Oh, the 2016, where France lost in France, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah. France,
but
Portugal.
They've always, for the last 10 years or so, been there or thereabouts in the big tournaments.
And you look at their team and they've got no, like, apart from Modric, they've not really got...
There's nobody.
There's no one.
Yeah, their golden generation kind of passed, really. Even they played Scotland at Euro 2021, but technically 2020, and they absolutely killed us. But he just, like him and Kroos, isn't it? Like none of them have just ever slowed down, and Kroos really went out on top, didn't he? So
Kroos is just a different level as well. But no, I was debating debating Modric, Kroos, or who was everyone I was thinking of? Pirlo for Juventus.
Oh, filthy man.
The time when he was at Milan, like, unbelievable.
It's like, I'm looking at midfield and you'd have Modric as a sitter and you just have De Bruyne and Zidane playing off of him. Yeah. And
the reason I picked De Bruyne is just because the assists he can do, like the goals for Man City he's created is just...
All seems to be from that little right-hand side of the box. It's all this little area.
So he's the one that's like the outside of the foot, and it just he just puts that bend on it. It's just
he does that all the time as well. It's.
And I think he's his times came for Belgium. I think he's. I think they're like the golden generation. I think they've passed now, and you think when he was on his like when they had Lukaku, him, you thought they could actually go far, but.
Yeah,
they've kind of just, and that's where I thought, Modric has actually done that with Croatia.
He has,
and they didn't have like anyone near like Lukaku or De Bruyne in their team,
No, I think next to Modric, your best player is the guy that would the forward for Inter and Bayern for a couple of years.
Is it
Perisic, Ivan Perisic, I think his name was. I think he's probably your next best player, and like nobody really knows of him.
They had like cult heroes like Mandzukic as well, didn't they?
Mandzukic, and then Dario Srna was the right back. He was really good, but he was a little bit of a cult hero. So you've got a front three: Ronaldo, Rooney, Messi. I kind of mentioned it before. I think Rooney is a perfect player to play with them two. I can't really think.
I was just thinking for Ronaldo and Rooney at Man U when them two linked.
Unbelievable. Tevez on the other side of them.
And you got that goal, it's like the advert, and it's like they're just, it's like it's black and white, and you just see the like Rooney running through the middle and playing like the 1-2s with Ronaldo
like
and Nani.
First person.
I
know the one you're on about. Yeah,
I just think that would be Rooney in that team, like just link and play all the time.
Rooney as well, like. I think I think we've said underrated on here before, Ryan. Is that right?
Yeah, well, I remember we talked about, we thought he should have probably achieved more, but he sacrificed a lot of his kind of own career for the likes of like a Ronaldo, didn't he? We'd play out wide a lot of the time because Ronaldo obviously wouldn't be as keen to track back and whatnot.
My take home on Rooney was he'd played that much football by the time he was about 23, 24. He was burnt out. He hit his peak. He was probably better at 18 than he was at 25.
Yeah.
And he was one of these players that had such a high peak and was so good for a while that people just expected because he was getting older he was going to get better and better and better. And some players are just not like that. They're maybe good when they're young and they don't get better. But he transitioned. He went to box midfielder. But there wasn't a position in that. If you'd asked Rooney to play centre back, he'd played centre back. Like it wasn't an issue. And then when I remember watching a few games when we went to DC.
Oh yeah.
And there's one of the ones where he runs back like the goalkeeper.
Yeah, he stops at the goal.
Does the scissor kick?
Yeah.
Sliding tackle, and then he puts the ball into the box
and the boy finishes it.
Yeah.
It's like, and this guy's like in his late 30s at this point, and just different class. Messi is the best player of all time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more a Ronaldo fan, but I would say Messi definitely. You can't argue with I think the thing is though, Messi, they're two different types. Like Ronaldo's like the model that work hard you can achieve, and Messi's just naturally gifted.
Yeah,
but like the things Messi can do in a game on his own, like it's just unbelievable. I think that what game was it? Was it the Chelsea? Was it? I can't mind Barcelona. Was it Barcelona Chelsea when he just got the ball and
just started dancing through them?
It was just amazing to watch. Like he's just Messi.
You can watch all of Messi's career goals on YouTube, and it takes about 8 hours. It's mad, and
so many.
Yeah, there's just so many of them,
and they're all different.
And there's never. I've sat and watched a good chunks of this, and I've never seen him just absolutely hit one from about 35 yards. He's always beaten two players and then just kind of tapped it.
It's always
the keeper.
A finesse, like it's always just a little dink. But it was actually the Man U game when he scored the header when Van der Sar came for the punch, and he just and his boot came off.
Ah, right, I never knew that.
Yeah, his boot came off.
Yeah, because he celebrated with the boot, didn't he?
And that's the one game I remember when he just took control of the whole game then, and he just danced with the ball.
Because it was a Ronaldo versus Messi Clasico show every time, and it was just like, right, who's going to get the first hat trick here? Or
I always remember the one at the Bernabeu in the Champions League semi-final where he literally went through. I'm trying to think who would have been playing. Sami Khedira probably for Real Madrid. Pepe, Ramos.
Oh yeah.
Like a solid Real Madrid side. Jose Mourinho was obviously the manager. It was the whole, like you said, that was like prime La Liga, wasn't it? But I do remember seeing him smash 4 in against Arsenal in one game. So that was always good viewing.
I think it was Leverkusen he put another 4 in against, or it was a German team. He was just unstoppable for a while.
The chip against Neuer's another one that springs to mind.
That was just.
And I think when I think of Messi, and if I had to think a moment, it's the nutmeg on Boateng. And I think there's quite a famous photo of that, and Boateng's legs look broken when he's going through him. And this is like a Champions League semi-final. He's doing this.
And he's falling back, and then he's through on goal with Neuer. Yeah, I remember that because there was all their memes afterwards, and he basically that was like Boateng was like a top centre back at that point, and he ruined his career.
One little nutmeg,
and he never. And the weird thing is, Boateng just never recovered from that game. Like he just, I think Bayern then sold them, didn't they? They're like, yeah, you're not good now.
He's done.
I had to defend against Messi. Like, okay, thanks.
And then I think capped his career off with that World Cup.
I'm chuffed. I'm glad they've both, like, Ronaldo has the Euros and Messi's got the World Cup. Like, it's probably something that was missing for their whole career from what they've done for football and that. Like, it's.
We were just speaking about on the bonus episode 8 Ballon d'Ors. Like,
it's mad.
What's that all about? Like,
to be fair,
it's almost like it's not even point having one now. It's like nobody's gonna even come close to Ronaldo or Messi. Like
probably
that
like
rivalry
gives them away for Christmas and things. It's like what was you going to say, Ryan?
I was just going to fight my corner for my boy Lewandowski getting robbed in 2021 again. But
that was. Yeah.
I understand giving him. Well, I kind of understand giving him 2023 one because of the World Cup, but obviously Haaland had just won the treble as well and scored
a
60 odd goals or something as well. So
madness. Okay, thank you for your time tonight, Steve.
No,
really enjoyed it, mate. It's been good to get some Celtic chatting. It's been good to get some Moray Mental Health chatting. Give the guys a shout out on their Facebook. Give the guys a check out on their Facebook. Post up on there and their Twitter, their kickabouts. Get along, support them at their games. There's like donations and things that go to Mikey's Line and things. Am I right in thinking?
Yeah, so we're linked with Mikey's Line, who are obviously the professional side of things for mental health. So people that do come to our kickabouts, if they do feel like they're struggling, at least then we've got that professional support behind us with Mikey's Line.
Yeah.
So I think we've raised quite a bit of money for them as well, and there is a donation box. So if you feel like you want to make a donation, the options there. But the kickabouts are free, so you don't have to pay as well. It's just come along and enjoy it.
Exactly, mate. Well, as you say, enjoyment's the key. It's like guys are all smiling at the end of it. Everyone's included. No pressure. I think Matty says if you want to just come down and watch, come down and watch.
Even just come out and chill with the guys and just get chats. That's absolutely fine as well. It's we're also are hoping to create a kind of like a peel off from our mental health and have like a room chat for guys as well. So after like a kickabout, they can go and just sit in a room. If you don't feel like kicking a ball about, you can just go and chat with the guys as well.
Yeah,
we are in the process of kind of finalising that.
Yeah.
So keep a lookout for that as well.
Brilliant, mate. Last question's always the same as well, Steve.
Yeah.
One penalty needs scored to save your life. Who takes your penalty?
I was going to make a joke, probably myself, because us at FC Thistle this year have been dreadful at scoring penalties.
Okay.
The amount that have been blazed over James, I'm talking about you actually, blazing it over the bar. But no.
Is that his technique, just smashing it?
Oh, yeah, he just smashes it. Even free kicks.
I can appreciate
that. He just
that.
smashes it. To be honest, I wouldn't want to be the keeper because he's done a few warm-up shots with me and it just moves at the last second. It's not great. But no, if I was to pick someone, it'd probably be Ronaldo, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Big game player.
Yeah.
You know, the amount of penalties he has scored under pressure in big games, I would probably go for him, to be honest.
Doing that stance as well before he takes it, That's all part of it, though. I was trying to say this to someone a while back, and they're like, I'm not really a fan. I'm like, it's all part of it, If he doesn't do that, he's probably fearing that he's not going to hit it, so he's got to do it this certain way and things.
Yeah, and it's mad that he just came out with it one free kick, and then he's just adapted it.
Yep.
For everything he does.
That's it.
It's hilarious because he's terrible at free kicks.
Oh,
like he does the same thing every time.
How many did you hit in the World Cup that just went?
Oh, I mean, the one that springs to mind though was the Portsmouth one. Like when it just
unbelievable.
David James just rooted to the spot,
just up and down.
And I remember David James was like, it was funny because he was like, they interviewed him in that. And he goes, yeah, because he took one early and he just blasted it over. And I thought, he'll just maybe go to the fucking left slightly, So I'll just be prepared for. And then he obviously took the shot when he was thinking that, and he's like, shit, top corner. And that was it. Like, it was just like, in a flash, it was just...
That was the first time anyone had seen a knuckleball as well.
Oh, yeah. But the one in Portugal, for Portugal as well, that, who was that against?
That's Spain, perhaps?
Yeah, the one that's slightly farther out.
He just pinged it as well. I mean, when it comes off, it looks amazing, but it's took him like 50 attempts, and you think, whereas who was it? David Luiz that would do it.
Oh, he could hit a free kick.
He could. Like, his free kick technique was like... Gareth Bale adapted Ronaldo's technique, technically.
Yeah.
And he was scoring more free kicks, but he didn't get a look in at Real Madrid because Ronaldo was there. But Bale could actually score a free kick. That's the difference.
Nobody gets a say over Ronaldo.
No.
Okay, cheers, Steve. Thank you for that, pal.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. The Football Journals is now on Patreon. If you sign up on Patreon for just £5 a month, you can get access to our upcoming guests and the chance to ask your own questions, the ability to watch our podcast with full video exclusive, audio only on all other platforms. You can get your episodes earlier than anyone else, sometimes a few days, sometimes a week. You will get your episodes earlier than everyone else. Chance to request guests of your choice. We will do them our utmost to get them on the show, if obviously within reason. I can't go asking Cristiano Ronaldo on the show. And one bonus episode per month. There's already a bonus episode on there. You'll get a further bonus episode every month. Sign up today at patreon.com/footballjournals, capital F, capital J. That's a sign up today at patreon.com/footballjournals, capital F, capital J.